Here it is. The 8K was filed today, June 3rd, 2022 at market close. This is the 8K form GameStop filed with the SEC. You can find it on GameStop Investor Relations website under their SEC filings. Newsroom will have their press releases. I fully expect a press release and the continued filings of the share split. This was just a filing to show that everything was approved in the shareholder vote yesterday. This was what was voted on was just the incentive plan, the compensation for the board approval, the approval of the CPA, the accounting firm that will be doing those things for GameStop, and the charter amendment. So the most important thing that we're going to go over is on the first page right here. Most important thing to me anyways. And this is just the total number of shares of the stock the corporation has the authority to issue is changed to 1,005,000,000, of which 1 billion shares of Class A common stock per value, essentially zero per share of Class A common stock, and then 5 million of preferred stock for the same value. Issuable in one or more series here and after as provided. The number of authorized shares of any class or classes of capital stock of the corporation may be increased or decreased, but not below the number of shares thereof then outstanding. So by the affirmative vote of the holders of a majority of the voting power of the stock of the corporations entitled to vote generally in the election of directors voting stock, irrespective of the provisions of section blah, blah, blah of the GCL or any corresponding provisions hereafter enacted. So this is them just saying that they can have 1 billion shares essentially available whenever they decide to. So obviously there's some filings, some proceedings that have to take place to do this. I do think that these 1 billion shares will be used for a share split. I know that the Fudsters will say that dilution. So dilution does not make sense for this company, in my opinion, at this moment. $1 billion of cash on hand. They've got the $917 million in inventory, and they essentially have no debt. I think they have like 35 million in debt due to some COVID in Europe, some COVID happenings in Europe from the government, maybe like the French government or something like that. So that is what is going on. I know that we'll probably see a lot of FUD out there, and you'll see them pin AMC and GME against each other, and AMC people will be like, oh, GME diluting shares now. Ha ha ha. They thought 500 million was bad. Look, now GME has 1 billion, but and I'm not trashing AMC people. I am in AMC as well, not as much as GameStop, but I don't think that's the case. I don't think that these shares are for dilution yet. Maybe they keep them on the back burner. Maybe you see some sort of dilution, years and years and years down the road, but there's no logical reason why they would dilute right now. It's not in the best interest of the shareholders. They have said multiple times how much they appreciate their shareholders, how much they value their shareholders. And so you really get a feeling that this board is in the best interest of the shareholders. And I mean, they buy the shares out of their own pocketbooks as well. So I think that this is amazing news. Excuse me. I think that this is amazing news. And I think that these shares are going to be used for a stock split. The rest of the 8K is kind of just basic legal jargon that going over their incentive plans, the board approval stuff. This is just legal stuff that has to be filed with the SEC. I just wanted to hop on, make a quick video. I think that this is the most important part of the document, just saying that we filed, we can increase it to 1 billion shares. We have these 1 billion shares now to do a stock split. They probably paid a little bit of extra money to file this document faster. So that's good news if you're a shareholder. It shows that they are ready and willing to move forward. I know on the shareholder call, they kind of maybe played it down a little bit, like they had no plan for a stock split. But on the back end, that the higher ups, that the board are definitely discussing the stock split. Obviously, they had a plan to go to 1 billion shares. Therefore, under that umbrella, they had a decision to discuss a stock split. It's just that they're not going to come out and just say, this is our plan for the stock split. They have to go through the proper channels, the proper document filings, and all of the proper ways to go about doing a stock split. So don't get discouraged that they didn't say anything. I mean, I know I was a little bit upset when you hear it and then there's no future forward-looking statements or future guidance really, besides the fact that the marketplace is coming. So, I mean, it's a little bit polar. I think that on the positive end, there's probably something huge on the back end, and they just don't want the competitors to be able to catch up once they release it. They're kind of waiting for that last second. And then I guess, pessimists or negative people could just say there's nothing going on. But I think this assures us that there is something going on, that the board has a plan to especially try to squeeze out some of these people that have shorted this company into oblivion and make them pay. So thanks for watching. That's kind of all I have. But overall, I believe this is good news in my opinion. And if you want to see this, again, it's on the GameStop website. So see you guys.